When I think back to that afternoon, I still remember the way the sunlight poured into the living room, making the dust particles float in the air like tiny glittering stars. I had the whole house to myself, or so I thought. My name is Daniel, and I had just turned 19 a few weeks earlier. College classes had been exhausting, and I finally had a break where I could just relax at home. I was sitting on the couch, wearing my favorite old sweatshirt and basketball shorts, completely absorbed in a new video game. The kind where every second counts, and you're so focused you don't even notice time passing. I had the volume turned up just enough so I could hear the sound effects clearly, but not so loud that it felt overwhelming. For over an hour, I was locked into the game's world, leaning forward, elbows on my knees, mashing buttons like my life depended on it. I barely noticed when the front door opened. I assumed it was just a neighbor walking past or maybe the wind catching the door since it never closed quite right. But then I heard footsteps, light, quick ones, moving toward the living room. When I turned my head, I was surprised to see my dad's close friend, Emily, standing there with a grocery bag in her hands. Emily was in her mid-30s, always cheerful, and had been around our family for as long as I could remember. She'd been helping out my dad lately while he was recovering from a knee surgery, running errands, and dropping by to check on things. "Daniel, I didn't know you were here," she said with a bright smile, clearly startled to see me too. I paused the game and laughed awkwardly. "Yeah, I decided to stay in today. I guess I got a little carried away with my game." She set the bag down on the kitchen counter and walked over to peek at the screen. "Oh, this one. My nephew plays it all the time. He says it's impossible to beat." I grinned, proud of the progress I'd made. "It's tough, but I'm getting there. Want to see?" Emily didn't hesitate to sit on the couch beside me. She smelled faintly of lavender and fresh laundry, and she leaned forward with genuine curiosity. "Okay, show me what's so intense." I started playing again, explaining the levels and how each one had different hidden challenges. She watched intently, occasionally laughing when I made a small mistake or cheering when I pulled off a tricky move. There was something light-hearted and fun about having someone to share the game with. After a while, Emily asked if she could try a round. I handed her the controller, and she instantly started pressing random buttons, making the character on screen spin in circles and run into walls. We both burst into laughter, the sound echoing in the otherwise quiet house. But then, in the middle of the fun, I noticed she was watching me just as much as she was watching the screen, not in a strange way, but like she was genuinely enjoying my reactions. I realized that in all the times she'd been over before, we'd never actually hung out like this. It felt unexpectedly comfortable. When her turn ended, she passed the controller back. "You know, for someone who's been stuck at home all week, you've got pretty good energy," she teased. I shrugged. "Guess the game helps. And having company doesn't hurt." We played for another hour, taking turns and competing to see who could get the farthest. Emily had this playful competitiveness that made the game even more fun. Eventually, the groceries she brought needed to be put away, so I helped her in the kitchen. We chatted about everything from movies to her favorite books, and I found myself forgetting about the game entirely. By the time she left, the sun was dipping lower, casting golden light through the windows. "We'll have to do this again," she said as she waved goodbye. I watched her go, realizing that what started as a lazy afternoon had turned into one of the most unexpectedly enjoyable days I'd had in a while. It wasn't about the game, or even the surprise of her walking in, it was about how sometimes the best moments come when you least expect them.